The problem is Kabbalah is known for being secretive, mystical, and complicated. But I found a 12-letter word that not only brings it to light and simplifies it, also explains it in depth. This word will demystify and explain how we can connect to an infinite God which created us despite his infinity. The 12-letter word is intermediary. If you want to start Kabbalah but don't know where to start, or if you've already started but you're getting stuck on certain things due to its complicating and sophisticated secretive techniques, it's going to help you get started and also help you understand those deep things which you're getting stuck on. I also interviewed some leading influencers in the field to show you some parts of them in this video. But not without the help of one more word, a 5-letter word, one that we know very well, human. Yep, we will be using the being we know best, our very self, the human, to understand and gain clarity on the more abstract concept of intermediary, which will itself shed light on the vast cosmos of everything. I'm now being told that the word Hishtalshlus is also composed of 12 letters. What a coincidence. Hishtalshlus is the word Kabbalah uses to describe how the infinite essence of God reaches down to create a finite, physical universe. This world down here. I tend to call Hishtalshlus the cosmic evolution. Okay, let's get to the point. The reason we gain clarity on the intermediary by inspecting our own human experience is because we are made to resemble our creator.
We use anthropomorphic metaphors for a reason, that not just because they're relatable, but also because these archetypes repeat themselves within the human psyche. So in truth, it's not that we're comparing God's process to our process. We're
a product of God's process.
Right.
Okay, guys, you're about to hear me saying the word DNA like 6 times in the next 50 seconds. I hope that's going to be fine because I'm trying to bring a certain point across. It's like our DNA. We have various characteristics which are coded by our DNA. But by examining our characteristics, we can actually learn about our DNA. Precisely because they've been coded by the DNA. But what's amazing is, to discover the DNA coding of our entire body, it's only necessary for us to take a small sample of just one cell to figure that out. Now, it is true that not everything can be interpreted or predicted by our DNA, but still, everything we're capable of has its place within our DNA coding. Now, this is kind of how we can examine ourselves, just one being among 8 billion people and trillions of living organisms in a vast universe filled with galaxies and stars, to learn and gain clarity of the intermediary called Hishtalshlus. As a part of the universe, we are coded by Hishtalshlus, so by studying this coding, we can learn all about it.
So our soul is very similar to God in a very reduced form.
Let's talk some more about intermediaries so we can understand how this system operates. An intermediary must have something in common with both sides it mediates. For example, in diplomacy, an intermediary might understand the culture and interests of both sides it's mediating. In software, an API can act as an intermediary with protocols that align the systems it connects. I don't know what I just said, but whatever. My friend told me that's a good analogy. He's in software. In any case, Hishtalshlus is a sequence of intermediaries. These bring the infinite, intangible power of God down into limited and physical beings.
So say the Hishtalshlus, meaning the chain of events that goes from everything to just a little something, is simply a matter of reduction. It's a reduction where everything slowly becomes some things.
In the next 2 minutes of this video, we're going to get into the description of the main playing parts in this intermediary. First, you're going to hear about the idea called the image of the divine, and it's called Atzilus. Then we're going to describe the nature of this place called Atzilus, how it's an emanation, like light. Then in step 3, we're going to describe how more intermediaries are necessary and exactly what they are. So, the image of the divine.
What does that mean? The divine doesn't have an image, but the divine chose to create an image. And that's essentially Atzilus. It's called sometimes Adam Ha'elyon. the supernal man. It means the divine man. Now, that means as godliness as manifest in structure.
We have God on one side, the universe on the other, and then in the middle, we have the universe in a godly form. This world is called Atzilus. Atzilus means emanation.
Atzilus is called an emanation because it's like when a ray of light shines from a light source. You can always trace the ray of light to the light source. If you can't trace it, you won't see the ray of light. That's just how photons work.
Right.
Take a beam of light and move it into another room.
Yes, we need to explain that. Okay, here we go.
So in Atzilus, it's a world of emanation. You can just trace it. Like any of these created beings, you just automatically trace them to their source. It's obvious that they're barely creations. They're really just expressions of the creator. And as such, they don't really have real separate selfhood. And they know it.
Now, while it has both a godly part to it and a worldly part to it, it really is very different from both the worldly and the godly, to the extent that more intermediaries are necessary to get from Atzilus down to us in this physical universe, and also from God to Atzilus. Now we're going to get into exactly what those other intermediaries are. There are 4 worlds Kabbalah talks about.
So it's Atzilut, Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya.
Atzilus is the highest. Then we have Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya. Creation, formation, action. Guess which one is our universe? Feel free to pause and let us know in the comments below. It's the last one, action. These worlds are stages in the mediation process of bringing infinite energy into us so we can exist.
You have to also keep in mind in Kabbalistic language, these 4 worlds repeat themselves many times. You have to think of them as 4 archetypes. It's not, like I said, 4 planets. It's not 4 specific, it's 4 dimensions. So if there's an Atzilus within Atzilus, there's a Bria within Atzilus. So keep that in mind.
So if Atzilus is the highest of those 4, well, actually, there's a catch. Atzilus is also the lowest of another set of 4 worlds. Just for the record, they're called Akudim, Nekudim, and Berudim. That last one, Berudim, is the one that we know as Atzilus. The highest of those supernal realms is not a discussion for now. So the point is, Atzilus is an intermediary, as you see, and there are many stages and mediating levels between us and Atzilus, and many more between Atzilus and the essence, which is God. I'm now really tempted to say that the intermediary for my videos to reach you are those like and subscribe buttons right down there, and I'm going to leave the decision up to you. Now, since this is all about intermediaries and how they must have something in common with both sides, us humans also have samples of these intermediaries inside us. Our brains are an intermediate between objective truths and subjective feelings and emotions, while our feelings and instincts are intermediates between what we understand is correct and what we do in action. If you want to learn more about exactly how our human intermediaries explain the heavenly and spiritual intermediaries, make sure you watch our cheat sheet video and stay in touch with this channel. So that's the summary of this 12-letter word, which tells it all, and the 5-letter word, which enhances it. Now I'm curious to hear from you guys what you think we should focus on next. Should we focus on the intricacies of our human psyche? Or should we jump into deciphering the infinite worlds which are far, far beyond us? I'd love to see the results in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching till the end, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay in the loop.